On this episode of Beer, Blues, and BS, it's Kidder and I. We're sitting down with a little AI and all sorts of shenanigans are happening. I also have a lot of good stories to share this week. At least I think they're good. They're mildly entertaining. Hopefully you'll find them entertaining too. Plus, we're going to dive a little bit into hockey, a little bit into radio, and, a little bit of this, that, and everything else. So strap in. It's a good time. You're in a good place. Welcome to the show.
It's Howard Blues and the Mark Kidder. Work all beverage, policies, enjoy time with friends.
Triple B! Well, the Triple B sucks. Okay? Oh, come on.
Whatever, man. This is Beer, Blues, and BS. Online at beerbluesbs.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Beer, Blues, and BS, the podcast that doesn't use any sort of deceptive tactics or, manipulation to get you to watch or like this video. We just hope you do it out of the kindness of your heart and out of maybe some pity for us. I'm your host, Howard Blues, here, as always, with my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the Mark Kidder. Kidder, how you doing tonight?
Well, Howard, it's been a long road getting from there to here, but suddenly my time is finally near, let me tell you. Happy to be here with you once again. Another week, another time together, another chance at the weather turning. Not ready for this time of year, though,
I needed all to hold off for 2 weeks because I got 2 more weeks in Medora, Kidder, and I don't want to have to deal with that stuff yet. I just want to make it home before I have to deal with it. So 2 weeks. That's all I'm asking. 2 weeks.
Maybe if you did it in 2 weeks, then it would listen. But you should be okay to get there. And stay there and come back. Should be okay.
Good.
We'll see. How you doing? What's happening over there? Do I need a drink before we get to that news of how are you?
Well, I will tell you, Kidder, I got a lot of stories to talk about. Lots of interesting things that have happened this week. I'm a little tired. I told you in the pre-show, we had our site summit. It's 1 or 2 times during the year where we invite all the site supervisors to come and we do some training. We ask different parts of the agency to come in, maybe speak a little bit about this, speak a little bit about that. And, it's a long day. I hit the ground running at 7:30 and didn't stop until, 4:30. I think I put on 5 miles, mostly running up and down the auditorium stairs because I was mostly in the sound booth running kind of everybody's presentations and all of that. So got my steps in. But because of all that, Kidder, I am ready to drink. And I think everybody is ready for, the best segment on the show. The only part of the show Lane ever watches.
The end?
No, what's on tap?
Yes. So what do you got brewing tonight?
Well, I'm trying to catch up to you. You've been drinking a lot of the brew. I think you're through all of the New England brews from the local geek. I'm still working on mine. And so working on that tonight from the Long Trail Brewing Company, I have their Vermont IPA. Yeah, this lovely guy. It is a Green Mountain Haze. Vermont IPA, New England IPA, born in Vermont, caretakers of Vermont craft, is an India Pale Ale, which means Kidder will hate this. It is 6% alcohol by volume. Color is a golden haze. This bottle is telling me to take a hike. No, thank you, bottle. I've done enough of that today. Let's see what else we got here. Our take on the hazy, hoppy style coming from the greenest state around. And that's about it. We'll crack this bad boy open. And give it a sniff. Man, that smells like citrus and hops. So that's gonna be what I'm in for. And while it smells of citrus, the citrus really isn't coming through. Very hoppy right off the top. The citrus is almost kind of like in the aftertaste. And it's like it goes hop, a little bit of smooth and citrus, and then a little bit of a bitter aftertaste afterwards. Not a terrible IPA. I'd maybe give this like a 3.3. Slightly above average. Or if we were going to use the Kidder IPA grading scale, it's a 1.
I'm trying to think because I thought I had that one before, but I'm trying to think if I did and then what I rated it. But it's probably low, and I don't even remember if I finished the stupid thing.
I'll consult our handy dandy spreadsheet, Kidder, while you tell us what are you having this evening.
Well, I still have a little bit left, and I might as well go with the kokanee. Had it on the show before, but I'm kind of running on the reruns right now because I need to drink the reruns before I can go run to get new runs and new ones. So, kokanee, again, produced by Kokanee, St. Louis, Missouri. It's brewed in the U.S. for the freshest taste, but also established in Creston, British Columbia in Canada. 12 fluid ounces, 5.0% alcohol by volume. And it is beer in all caps. Getting a little late to the party on this one because it's been in there for a little bit. But you can go to tapintoyourbeer.com for more information. And it is twist off, so cheers to you and another week down on the kokanee and another week back and forth on the planet.
Couple of things, Kidder.
Mm-hmm.
One, I still have a beer for you, courtesy of our good friend, the local geek. So at some point, we'll have to connect so I can give that to you. That should make life a little bit better. The other part, and it's probably the more disappointing thing, Kidder, but unfortunately, I had forgotten in this that, we have like 4 weeks of episodes in the can. So,
might be in one of those.
It's not in any of the ones that you that have come out. So I don't know, and I can't look it up, and we're just going to have to wait for the local geek to catch up and let us know. Or, hey, if we get to that point and future Howard remembers this conversation, he might be able to consult the spreadsheet and look. And
whatever things.
Hey, I'm just reporting, man. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
sharing the good word, or at least the word.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I need to change Google Docs so it's like the dark view. But I got to figure out how to do that.
Control-Alt-Delete.
Yeah, nope, not going to try that one. Who do you think I am? Big D?
Well, we all know that he likes that sort of thing in the Business Center, which, by the way, if you would like to get a Big D Business Center shirt, you can go to streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs or a pint glass or perhaps a coffee mug, because nothing says Big D Business Center like a cup of coffee. Streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs. You can click on merch. You can also subscribe to the show on there. Remember, $1 a month helps a starving podcast host. And also point at Howard, but we don't have the dual vision tonight. So, yeah, that's that's that. Also, wanted to slip in right away that even though we are 4 weeks late as of this posting, but some sad news to report from the North Dakota Highway Patrol that Canine Boudreaux has passed away. He retired at the end of last year and has lived out the rest of his happy doggy days in retirement. And so obviously very sad time. Got to meet that big boy Bood, and he actually liked me. So clearly I'm a likable guy because yes, the dogs like me too. But sad time for Boods. He was one of the tracking bloodhounds for the Highway Patrol, and so he would often get called out and help in rescue missions to find or track individuals from vehicles or out in fields, different things. Basically, whenever somebody would not be able to be found. And he'd be out there doing tracks, national certifications from the FBI, and went around the country helping out people to be found. And so a sad day for the Highway Patrol and for friends and family of Boudreaux, but again, our condolences from the show and from both us, Howard and I, go out to everyone who's affected by the loss of Boudreaux, the Highway Patrol canine bloodhound. So rest in doggy heaven, and of course, you will be missed, and thank you for all of your service. So even though it's a little sad news to insert in there, gotta recognize because B was one of the goodest boys.
Yeah. Well, sad to, as I said, sad to hear that. Nobody, I understand, for some people, they don't get it. It's just a canine. But those dogs, working dogs are always amazing, and the things that they do. And, it's always sad. And I'm sure, that his handler is probably feeling a bit sad after that loss. So, yeah, it's always tough. Well, to try and bring the mood up a little bit, Gitter, I got a story to share with you. I think you'll like this one. So, last weekend, I mentioned on last week's episode that I've been having kind of some real bad flare-ups of my myelitis and such. And so last weekend I was kind of rendered a bit, needless to say, I needed to take it easy. I needed a break. I wasn't feeling great. So, the family and I, we were kind of chilling, taking it easy. And Lefty starts watching this video. I'm going to describe this video. It's this lady. She's in a wedding dress. She's got a 5-tier cake in front of her. And she's standing in the kitchen. Someone's filming her. We never really find out who or what this is. And she starts like, folks, I know it's my wedding day, but I wanted to make this video. I wanted to show you this really cool thing we're doing for my wedding cake. And I want to show you so that you could do it too. And she takes this glass. I'm going to call it a globe. It's not really a globe, and in the sense that you're probably thinking. If you've seen the old oil lights, the glass part that goes over the flame is called the globe. So she takes what looks basically like an old oil lantern globe, and she takes it to the top of the cake, puts it about center, and sticks it in. And then she starts pouring in different colors of like warm, very liquidy frosting. And the whole point of this video, Kidder, was that she was going to put these in, form these layers, lift this globe up, and it was all going to come slowly down the cake, and it was going to leave it kind of in this kind of cool tie-dye acrylic feel. Kidder, how long do you think this video was?
Way too long. Probably 10, 15 minutes.
Try closer to 20. And it's because, like, they kept, I kid you not, like, even my wife was getting frustrated because they kept, like, they got to the point where they had all the stuff in, and then they're like, okay, so all we're going to do is we're going to lift this slowly, and it's going to come out. Now, it might get stuck, so you got to twist it a little. So you got to twist, and you're going to lift it up. All right, we're going to do it in 5. Okay, so we're going to count down from 5, and then we're going to give it a little twist, and we'll lift it up like this, and that'll do this, and it's going to make this happen, and that's what we're going to do. It's everybody could do this. It's a great cake video. The guy filming is like, oh yeah, send in the shares and the likes and the thumbs up, and we'll do this. Send in those likes if you want to see us do this. Okay, yep, all right, they're coming in. Oh, that's great. I'm looking to do this, and like it went on for like 20 minutes. My wife's like, just lift the damn globe. Even my son was sucked in because he wanted to see what happened, but it's like, yeah. And so my wife and I were chatting during it. It's like, it's clear that this is just using these deceptive tactics to get their watch time up, to get their likes and all of that, which is part of what inspired the opening line for tonight's episode, was the fact that it was like 20 minutes of this. And then when they finally did it, it like just glooped out. And it was, you could just see the look on her face like, well, that's not what I was supposed to do. And it was like, my wife's like, I know I just wasted 20 minutes of my life watching that. She goes, but I just wanted to see. It was terrible, Kidder. It's, and the thing is, and I know, I can see the steam coming off you on this one. I didn't see the exact number of views, but it was probably several thousand views, maybe a couple 100,000 views for that. And yet we try our hardest here on the Triple B to put out a top quality podcast and product. Yeah. And we struggle to get people to tune in. Yeah. And yet it's like, we're making sure we're giving and delivering quality. We get upset when we know that, like, hey, we haven't given you the best show we could, or the internet is crapped out and Kidder's coming to us live from a potato. Like, that bugs us. We don't like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we don't. And
then you have that.
Yeah.
Also, Facebook is censoring us. I don't know if you saw that or you tried, but
no.
Our latest post, you click share, you type up your message, you hit share. This post cannot be shared. It's unavailable. It may have been deleted. Again. Why? I even went in and edited it, thinking maybe it'll kick it. Nope. Nothing. Does not work. Same thing that happened to us last week or 2 weeks ago. Maybe both. Time flies when you're having fun. So,
and it's weird because it's not like we do anything like controversial on this, or that the language in our post is anything controversial. We try our hardest here not to talk about controversial thing. Well, okay, we do talk about controversy, and we do talk about controversial things, but like we avoid politics
on the internet.
We avoid, religion. We kind of stay out of those fields. I was going to talk about this down in topic 6 actually a little bit, Kidder, but I'll bring it up now.
Let's do it.
There's a podcast that I've listened to for a number of years. I'm not going to name it because I don't need to start a beef or anything like that. But it's a podcast about Magic the Gathering. And it's 4 friends who have been friends for a long time and have been playing. The podcast has been on for like 15 years. 15 years of them talking Magic the Gathering and all of that. And I haven't listened to it all that time. I've listened to a lot of it. I've come to like I enjoy these individuals and their banter and all of that. I feel, it's very much like would be like us if we focused in on a single topic. I kind of feel that way about it. And it's like, oh, this has been a staple show in my lineup for a long time. Well, I just started I kind of went back to them recently. I kind of finished some other things. I'm like, oh, you know what? I haven't listened to these guys for a while. Let's do it. Let's give them a listen. Well, apparently they've kind of gotten to a point where like, yeah, after 15 years, we're kind of tired of talking Magic. So they now like will break up like between the Magic episodes. They'll do just what they call just chatting episodes, and they will just chat about movies and such. My problem with it, Kidder, is that like they have gone like very political in these. Like they start off, they're just chatting stuff, talking current events and politics, and it's one of those things of like to the point of an extreme view of, well, if you're from this side, then you're an idiot and you should just stop listening to us. And regardless of which side they're on, the thing about it is I'm tuning in because I like listening to them talk about Magic. I'm not tuning in for the politics. And so it immediately became a turnoff, and I actually just unsubscribed from the show because I don't want to have to sit and filter through, oh, this is just chatting and they might talk politics. It's like, it's not where I go. It's why I fight so hard to keep us from talking politics, which is why for our audience, if you listen to last week's episode, there's some stuff that's got edited out, and I'm sure one JS Gunslinger is maybe a little annoyed at me for it. And I'll put it this way, JS, if you're listening, it's more than likely that it's not that I disagree with you, but we have never said that we would talk politics. I just don't want to go there. I don't want to lose people because they're like, oh, this has become a political show now. I don't want us to fall in that trap. If we had started this show saying, and we'll talk current events and politics, that's a totally different can of worms, but we've always kind of avoided it. And so I felt really bad like last week because I'm like, I'm going to edit out so much of this stuff. And it's nothing against JS, and it's not even that I necessarily disagree with him. It's like, I don't want us to fall down the same path as this other show. And it's not just that. I've had streamers who I have followed for years who have gone political, and I'm just like, I'm tuning into your content to escape the real world. And you bring it in, and it's just... And it's never something simple like, oh, guys, the election's coming up. Make sure you go out and vote. It's like, hey, if you're going out to vote for this guy, you're an idiot. Or worse things. I'm trying to keep this family friendly. But I just, ugh. So, that said, Kidder, to bring up to what am I listening to since I got rid of that podcast, I've actually started listening to our old shows. So... I was listening to episode 26 today as I drove into work.
So you really let the strippers win.
Not going to edit that out.
Just change terrorists to strippers. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll find something to put.
It'll get us traction.
I'll put something in there. No promises. But at least thank you for saying it as you let the strippers win, because now I can just edit that part and put it there. And thanks. You made my editing a little bit easier.
I know the process and I know how it goes, and I might as well just be here to give this audio video gold and just let the things just keep on flowing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've been up too long. And so have you. Let's not glaze over that. But
Yeah.
Well, last night was another night where waking up in the middle of the night and then you can't get back to sleep right away. And then you kind of wake up again because you're like, has my alarm going off? And no, it's not going off. So you go back to sleep and then you're like, man, I got hours and I'm sleeping. And then, there's the alarm.
Yeah, I know how that goes. I actually, Kidder, like I was sleeping really well last night, which is good because that will help ease my medical stuff. And then I had this just incredibly, like, very vivid dream of getting carjacked. Actually, cool. It was a dream of pulling into a gas station late at night, which sometimes happens when I travel around the state, and being approached by a young gentleman who then flashed a gun, and like I gave him the keys. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to back up. And he picked up the keys, got in the car, and then raised the gun and started shooting. And that's when I woke up. And it's like, oh,
Jaco, don't you know you got murder bird protection?
Well, listen, I know I have murder bird protection. Apparently, Dream Howard totally forgot about it.
Oh, gotcha. You also have like the killer kidder protection. Let's be honest, right? Because don't make me come over there and smack a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it was just like the most, like, I've never actually had a dream like that. It was weird and such. But yeah, I woke up from that and then couldn't get back to sleep because again, then like the mind starts racing about, oh gosh, what time is it? I have to get up at this time and I get to go to work and I got to get this and this and this done before the summit. And yeah, it made for, it's like, great. I was finally asleep and enjoying myself, and that happened. I got another interesting thing for you, Kidder.
And what is that?
So at the time of us recording this, the episode that came out just tonight, which is episode 130.
The bongos.
There's something special about it, Kidder. It is our first thumbnail made completely via AI.
So, let me swallow that. Almost didn't make it there. Okay, go on.
So, because of just the craziness that was my week this week with all of the doctor stuff and all of that, and I will talk about that later. I was behind in editing the episode, and so I was finishing it up literally last night, Thursday night, and I was like, I still have to do a thumbnail for this. And I had been spending like the whole time like, what do I name this episode? I was going to go with something along the lines of like, Kidder hates mangoes, too many mangoes, mango mania. Like I was playing on that because that episode featured a lot of talk about mangoes and, you know, at least mango flavored haichu and all of that. I was like, there's something here. Maybe I could do like a truck dumping a load of mangoes over a cliff, you know, something along those lines. But it's like, that's a lot of like Photoshop work to make it work. And it's already like 11 o'clock. What can I do? I'm like, you know what? Let's try AR art generation. And so I actually went and used Bing. Sorry, Google. Not sorry. I went over and I used
now
Bing.
They're going to be really pissed because we pay.
Yeah. I went over and they have in their image search where you can actually do a little AI art generator. And so I put in truck driving off a cliff with mangoes. Or actually, no, I put it as truck dumping a load of mangoes off a cliff. Something along those lines. And that is what we got. Now, the interesting thing was, Kidder, at about the time that I did that, I had a very strong revelation about what the title should be. And that was to tie in some of the Call of Duty discussion that we had. And so there's 2 references to Call of Duty in the title. Shipment and Bongo City. So I was like, okay, let's see what happens if I type in our title. A shipment of mangoes from Bongo City. Kidder, the response I got from Bing was, we will not proceed to make that art because it is deemed inappropriate for this, particular AI generator. If you continue to make such suggestions like this, you will be banned from using this service.
Okay.
I don't know what was so offensive with that title. I don't know what button I pushed. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was a pretty clean, innocent title. I was expecting a truck with mangoes, with like Bongo City, or like coming from a giant city made out of bongos, or some other crazy AI inspired thing. Nope. And so at that point, I'm like, well, I'm not messing with it anymore, and hence a truck driving off a cliff containing mangoes. So we'll see. But yeah, I just thought I would share. It was our first AI thumbnail. So I took the art and then put our usual stuff on it, the title, the episode number, all those things.
Mm-hmm. That's where I was thinking perhaps for next week's we'll try where we just put up the photo and then put the URL as a link in there.
We could try that. I also kind of wanted to try and put in like a description of this show and see what it comes up with. Like, create a thumbnail for a podcast where 2 good buddies drink beer and talk about, pop culture.
Let's see.
I just, be interesting to see like what that would come up with. Kitter's now checking.
I got to get to like a free site for AI generation that also does not require me to sign in because I don't want to create an account to sign in.
Bing here. I can pull it up actually.
Yeah. Let's do it. So Google's AI is called Bard.
Mm-hmm.
Bard is not supported by the Triple B account.
You know what though? Okay, Local Geek, you're gonna hear this. You need to come back on the show because Local Geek is already set up. It has access to Bard. Okay, create a thumbnail for a podcast where 2 brothers drink beer and discuss culture. I need tweaks you want to make to that particular.
That'll be good. Just throw it at the wall.
You give me that. I did forget a punctuation mark. Maybe. Anyway, create. All right. Our image is being created by AI.
You did it. Huh.
Interesting. I don't know why the microphone has this guy's face on it. That one's not terrible. This is just interesting. This one seems to be in Russian. This one's jumping out at you.
I mean, for pop culture, we would have to go with the like anime one in the top right.
Yeah. Yeah. Although we'd have to argue about which one of us is going to be from Canada.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's just the chest hair poking through for you.
Ah.
Although, I don't know why you have blonde hair then, and why I would have red hair.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Maybe we need to update the pieces on there with podcast with two guys drink a beer and one's bald, one's salt and pepper, which should throw an interesting fact in or a little thing because maybe it'll pull salt and pepper into the photo, and then remotely.
Yeah, we will. We'll leave that part out. I think that's going to throw it off. I don't know if you noticed, Kidder. I have this thing like if I'm typing and I'm focusing on something else, sometimes I type what I hear. And so I for a while there, it flashed up, podcast of two guys drinking beard.
I mean, close enough.
For our audio listeners, I'm sorry. Check out the video version at youtube.com. Interesting. Interesting selection.
Clearly the bottom right one. Also notice that somebody else is bringing in that beer because that is a right hand.
Yeah, I did notice that. That is an interesting one. I mean, this one up here is not terrible.
Except for the WTF are you talking about look that my guy has on his face.
I don't know. That seems pretty accurate, actually.
I can't get my... There. How's that? That good? Am I there?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, this one is also interesting, this bottom left, because this guy is clearly bald, and I don't know what's going on with this guy's hair. It's like he's being attacked by bubbles.
You're melting.
Yeah, I also like how, I get that we put salt and pepper, but it's like it made everyone, old.
Well, it made you old.
Really old.
That's practically 1 foot in the grave.
That's okay. I also like the top left here, how, yes, it's got you bald and with red hair.
Yeah,
but I apparently appear to be Indian.
Yeah. And my glass apparently has the Buffalo Sabres logo, and yours has a thumbs up because you're giving a thumbs up, but backwards.
Well, that's the other weird thing because I'm so it'd be a thumbs up like this, but then I'm holding my beer like this.
Yes, and your hand is practically broken holding your, because you're like the ow. I just cracked my wrist. I'm gonna workforce safety. I workers' comp claim here, or I just need to sue Bang.
Okay, one last prompt here.
And then how about loving the Avalanche or Colorado Avalanche? Something about we like the Colorado Avalanche. I don't know.
Well, here, well, I just want to see just what happens. I got a couple of credits left on this. Let's just see what happens if we just give them our title. So, Beer, Blues, and BS. So, a podcast titled Beer, Blues, and BS. We'll see.
And how do you get these credits?
I don't know.
Look at the Burr Blues podcasts. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I like the logo otherwise. It's not bad. It's missing the BS. But it's all right. This one isn't shabby. This whole Beer, Blues, and BS. Hey, we could put that on a t-shirt. This one, if it had all of the stuff, and it wasn't Beer, Blues, B8 bus, has a nice look to it,
Well, I have technology.
I mean, do you want me to download these for you?
Yeah, I mean, why not? Maybe we'll sell a T-shirt. Not that T-shirt. I'm just saying, like, maybe we'll sell a T-shirt.
Oh, I guess there's a customize, but I don't know what that really requires.
Oh boy, let's do this together on the show.
Customizing. Microsoft Designer.
Wow.
Wow.
Simply astounding. Probably about nothing. Look, you can do so much with this.
Yeah, I can do like nothing with it. That is helpful.
Thanks so much, Microsoft.
Okay, screw that. Go back. Grab this guy. Because that's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know what's up with this cat one.
Well, clearly it's the cat's meow.
Well, I mean, if it wasn't a cat, if it was like a murder bird, I'd be all for it.
So how about add a murder bird onto it and see? Maybe capitalize the S on BS. See if that assists in our crediting of creation. Redeem more with Microsoft Rewards points, or wait for your boost to be replenished on a weekly basis. Wow. Wow. That's
Okay, let's
some things happening here. Again,
okay.
you why are you holding a modified grapefruit?
I mean, is that a grapefruit? Is that a piece of meat? I'm not exactly sure. What is this like flame right here?
Well, you're on fire. Clearly, that's what the like worried look on your face is.
I mean, I listen. I like the like Doctor Who-esque with like the blues guitar and the beer. Even the murder bird, I mean, looks kind of awesome. It's this part, and then just the weird title down here just doesn't. Mm-hmm. Oh man. Okay, I'm actually gonna download this so that I can put up a better image. I don't know what it looks like on that, but anyway, this one, beer and blue BS mud. If you ignore that part and this guy's weird thumb,
well, that's just the mic cable going from his hand, probably your hand, because he has glasses, so probably your hand into the next dimension.
Yeah, I also like how like the murder bird has clearly let himself go.
He murdered a couple sandwiches before he took that photo. You know what I mean? A couple meatball sandwiches.
Yeah. Oh, that was interesting. I always kind of want to get some of these just to like actually make it like knockoff shirts of our own stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This one.
I don't even know what that is that he murdered, but I mean, maybe that's German for blues. Blues.
I don't know, but oh my gosh, this has been gold.
Beer and blues and BS. I mean, there's a light bulb in the back, or maybe that's just
glue.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's some things for us to work on here, but you had wanted one that was with the abs.
Yes. Let's go. Loving the Colorado Avalanche. Something.
Here we go.
Good thing we have all those recents in there, so then we can refer back to them. Oh my gosh.
Who knew we were gonna have this much fun?
Wow. Okay.
Hey, there's some stuff to work with here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at this. That's not too shabby.
Yeah.
They almost got the title right.
I mean, most people can't anyway, so I wouldn't expect AI to get it right. It's one beer, lots of blues, and definitely lots of BS. That's clearly Gabe Landeskog still healing.
Yeah.
Even though we have Peter Buglinkat's Earloosen BBS.
I also like how like the logo is like coming off the jersey and onto the table.
Yes, it's peeling. It's peeling off the jersey. It's too hot in our studio, clearly. And there's a regular beer and a root beer.
Or a dark beer, you know. It's
clearly a cream stout.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that, singing the praises here after winning a Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's good. I mean, I will like to say this is the first one that got like the BS really right.
Yeah.
But this one,
we might be able to use that one in a t-shirt. Probably as it is, let's be honest, because then they won't. They'll figure out that it's us. But
oh man, okay. Okay, we'll have to do this again sometime.
I had another thought for one, but I kind of lost it because I got sidetracked, and I don't remember specifically what it was, but yeah,
this has been good. This is excellent.
Wow. Wow.
Oh man.
I don't even know where to go from that, because clearly AI has already, figured out my my life and my likes. So,
well, and yeah, I mean, if some of those could have got like the title of the show correct, there would have been some real possibilities. But it's AI for you. That is AI for you.
I wonder if you put that section in quotes, that it would pull that text as itself, versus trying to come up with those pieces. But
it's a good
the
idea.
blue guy was quite unique.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, I mean, we can create our very own now line of shirts, the AI collection, that are clearly wrong and look like knockoffs, which is great.
Featured at Sodo Sopa. Yeah.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. I needed that kind of laugh tonight. That's that was a good one.
That was something else.
Yeah, and I'm actually out of this IPA, Kidder.
Yeah, I've been out for a little bit there, but I didn't want to interrupt that podcast gold. So,
well, let's follow it up with some podcast silver, because it's everybody's second favorite segment of the night, and that is What's on Tap, Round 2. Drink.
All right. Fargo Brewing Company Original Lager. It is the Fargo Original. And drink Fargo, the beer, for any occasion, including drinking on this show. 5.1% alcohol by volume with 17 IBUs, brewed in Fargo, North Dakota. 12 fluid ounces. Again, JS had this last week, one of the beers that I gave to him, but I have a couple of them left, so you can see that. I've had this on the show before. But again, all the info, and if you stop by Fargo Brewing Company, you can pick up some of their classy merch, such as the shiny sticker.
Mm-hmm. Kidder, you actually had that beer on the show exactly 5 episodes ago on episode 130. Perfect. I know, because I just edited it.
Glad to stay consistent. Just wait till you see the rest of the stuff left in there.
Ah, yes.
How do you feel about blueberry beer?
Wow. I don't know, but I'm having a blackberry beer. That's right. Also from the Long Trail Brewing Company. It is their blackberry wheat. The original. Yep.
It's original.
American wheat ale with blackberries. Because if when everybody thinks sour, they think, there's a guy who likes fruit and beer. Let's see, 4.2% alcohol by volume. The color is golden wheat. Please recycle. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Did I not have this like 2 weeks ago?
I mean, I couldn't tell you because our spreadsheet is not that updated,
Well, I know. I thought that maybe as you're going through the time portal and thinking this and that perhaps it looks familiar because the blackberry wheat beer seems oddly familiar, unless I'm just having a continual case of deja vu, which is also possible because we are living in a simulation.
Yeah, well, Kidder, the problem is that like we're so far out with some of the episodes, I don't really remember what happened in all of them. It actually kind of surprises me as I've been editing. For the audience, we have a run sheet tonight. You probably picked up on that, and we had one last week, but it was numbered 1-3 question mark because I knew it was in the 130s, but I couldn't tell you which exact episode number it was. I counted this, so I knew we were episode 135 tonight. But it's been the interesting kind of story as this runs. Anyway, I'm stalling on this. Oh man, it smells fruity.
If I did, which I think I did have it a couple episodes ago, to me it smelled a lot better than it tasted because I was hoping that it had more blackberry. So sorry to taint your taste there. Go for it.
Yep, here we go. Enjoy this reaction. Oh. That's terrible. Who wants to drink fruity beer? I just don't get it. How could you want more blackberries in this? I want less. Like 0 would be fine. Oh, man, I'm going to suffer. This is a 1, Kidder. It's a 1. Oh, ugh. Ugh.
Now, does it kind of go along the lines of what I was thinking of, where you have the basic beer and then just a hint of fruit?
No, I disagree. To me, it's like overpowering of like the blackberries. Like it tastes like a flavorless like beer. So you get a little bit of that beer taste. But then it's just like, bam, blackberries, and it's. Ugh. Maybe this is why you tend to like the fruity, like the blueberry beers and such more than I do. Maybe it's because like for your taste buds, it's like, oh, it's not enough fruit, so it's all right, or that. Where for me, it's like, oh my gosh, this is too much fruit. I can't stand it. Maybe that's the difference here. But, I will finish this. For I am Howard Blues, and I have only ever not finished one beer on this show. I will do this. It's just going to be long and painful. Kidder, while I'm suffering, apparently you have a surprise for me. And I don't like surprises. I'll share this story. Here's my key up. This is how much I hate surprises. Lefty, my lovely wife, one year decided to surprise me with a surprise party for my birthday. Now, here's the thing. There were a couple of things with this. One, Kidder was in charge of distracting me, and apparently did such a good job that we were like late to the party. Enough where people were like calling to like find out where I was. So there's that. The thing was, this party was not held on my birthday. So I, of course, wasn't expecting it. So yes, it was a surprise. But what made me hate this even more was in like the whole night was everybody who came up to me like, oh, and then Big D was a big offender of this. Oh, we got you good. You didn't see this coming. I'm like, right, because why would I suspect a surprise birthday party on a day that's not my birthday? Ooh, you guys are so clever. So anyway, I don't like surprises. She's never, after that, she said, I will never throw you another surprise party again. And I'm like, thank you.
Yep.
So the fact that you wrote into the run sheet, Kidder, surprise to reveal for Howard, who doesn't like the sound of this.
Right.
I'm a little concerned.
Well, to make you feel better, it's more for me, but it's a surprise for you to see what it is.
Oh, I know what it is.
Does that make you feel better?
Yes, although I'm going to trump you after this, so go for it.
Okay. Well, got this the other day, and I thought it had one of the quick release deals. Well, haha.
I got to remember to grab that screenshot for future use.
Told you, bring in the comedy, video, and audio gold. So, are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not, because I don't know if I'm ready for it, and I don't know if I can actually get a hold of it. Yep. There it is. I don't know if I like how they put the timey-wimey doctor, right? You know. If that is the card and it's like right on the face, I'm going to be kind of pissed. But
no, that is just called the face card. You will have an actual card in there.
Okay.
But
I mean,
Kidder,
it's cool looking, but yeah. Yes. Yes.
I'll let you finish showing off that.
Oh well, I really don't know what I'm looking at because this is a reveal. Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, the universe beyond. Doctor Who. And I see that we have the water, fire, and planes cards in here. So that's quite the interesting combination.
Mm-hmm.
It's the commander's deck, and it has on the top again timey-wimey, very good. What do we got? Collector's Booster Sample Pack, plus 2 legendary traditional foil cards, which I was super excited about, as you know, because I love the foils. And then there's the back of the box, Alone C, as in the true tradition of the 10th Doctor. Sorry. Doctor! Yeah, lots of great stuff, it looks like. And some sadness with Bad Wolf Bay. That's some sad.
Mm-hmm.
So for the audio listeners, it says, grab your companions and battle across the universe in Magic's definitive multiplayer format. The 10th Doctor bends reality with his time travel ability, adding time counters to speed up or slow down your cards. When you need to stay alive, opt to delay before outwitting your enemies in due time. The 10th Doctor, energetic and charismatic. or charismatic. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. The 10th Doctor is always ready for adventure. He finds joy in the mundane and the strange, but he is still capable of fiery, righteous fury against his enemies. The guilt and regret of the time war still lingers with him, driving him to make the universe a better, more peaceful place. We'll shake up your commander games with your friends. Use a deck of plain cards and a special planar die to trigger unique abilities that take your TARDIS through time and space. The contents in this include 100 card deck with 50 new cards, 10 plain chase cards, 10 double-sided token cards, a planar die, foil etched display commander, which I'm guessing is this is what you were saying.
Mhm.
A life wheel, which is good because counting is not fun. The deck box, a strategy insert, and a reference card. Any other fun details? No, not really on the box.
Actually, Kidder, there is. If you note down here on the
Yeah, let me
box.
look at the front again. Contains Doctors 9, 10, and 11. Well, we don't need the 11th Doctor, but I'll take 9.
Yeah. So Kidder, I too got this commander set, but I may have also gotten this commander set featuring the 4th Doctor.
As I would hope.
Yeah. It also, this actually one comes with the first 8 Doctors.
Wow.
So, yes, for a Forest of Plains and a island. Yep. Mostly the same stuff on the back, a little bit different descriptors because it talks about the 4th Doctor a little bit, known for his eclectic sense of humor, cheerful optimism, and petulant for getting into trouble. The 4th Doctor faces danger with determination and proves there's no such thing as can't. He's instantly recognizable in one of his iconic long scarves and a brown fedora, usually offering someone a sweet. So, I have that one. But Kidder, it just wouldn't be those two.
Yep.
I do have this one. This is the Paradox Power, which contains the 12th and 13th Doctors. I did like Capaldi, so
Yes. I did as well.
But again, talks more about the 13th Doctor on the back. So,
Just spoilers for you.
yep. So I'm not going to read it right now. Anyway, but there's that. So yes, I have all the Doctors.
What's funny about the envelope is, can you read the top?
Yes, I can. Timey-wimey too.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who wrote that on there, but yeah. Dalek.
Yes, I also got the villain deck.
Yeah.
So
And I see that's fire and what do you got?
yeah, island and swamp. So yeah. Yes, I got all 4 of the commander decks.
I wanted to get more, but I don't have any money.
Well, Kidder, the good news is you got a friend in me. We can play some Doctor Who magic now.
Yeah. Special edition live show.
Yeah. Yes. Of course, it's Commander, so we need to recruit 2 more players. Lefty is in.
Okay.
So, hey, local geek, I got some cards you can borrow. It'll be like old times when you borrowed cards.
Hey, can I play with your deck? Yeah, I don't know if you want to, but go for it.
So, yeah, no, exciting times. Exciting times. It'll be good. Get to teach Kidder how to play Commander. So,
Yeah, we'll just make it up as we go.
that'll work. that'll work.
Doctor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Definitely looking forward to those. So yeah, mine came too, just recently. So that's how I knew. Like all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I was going to talk about these. Clearly, that's what Kidder was going to surprise. So I figured it out. But
see, not so bad of a surprise.
no, but I wanted to play it up a little bit. So Kidder, I got a great story for you.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This involves my daughter, Little Miss, and I think you'll get a kick out of it. So Lefty took Little Miss shopping to the grocery store. We split the kids. I stayed home with Junior, and she took Little Miss and went to get a few things. Now, because last weekend and last week the weather got colder, we got the kids' ponchos out. For those who don't know, my mom actually sewed some ponchos, some fleece ponchos for the kids, so that they do not wear their big winter coats in their car seat, because that can actually be a hazard. So we have these ponchos that we can put over them, and it keeps them warm, and you can still buckle them in and not have to take the poncho off. It's great. So Lefty takes Little Miss to the store. They're doing some shopping. Of course, we always like to try and let our kids help. And so when it's something that's not breakable or such, we tend to hand the kid the item and they can throw it in the cart. And anyway, they go to, they do the shopping. They pick up the thing. Lefty needs some waffles. So got waffles. Got the few essentials that we were missing. And they go to leave, and Lefty was kind of like, man, our total did not come out quite right. And so she's looking at the receipt and going out there, and she's like, this doesn't seem to work. And she's loading stuff into the car. She goes to load Little Miss from the cart into the car seat. And when she picks her up, Little Miss had a box of waffles under her poncho, and they had made it out of the store. This box of waffles. So Lefty had to go back in and purchase them. But I just had to laugh that my daughter is apparently a master thief who has stolen waffles, all at a grand age of 18 months. So cheers.
Well, the good news is that at that age, you can't be charged with a crime, so her criminal record can stay clean.
Yeah, but it was just a cute story. It made me chuckle. Let's see, what else is there, Kidder? We're not going to talk hockey. At least not
one.
Hey, I guess we're talking hockey. Go Bobcats. Good on them. Kidder, I have to ask, how are the Avs doing? I've been so busy I haven't had a chance to follow.
Well, the home opener was last night against the Chicago Blackhawks. Of course, the team of Rude Boy Kyle himself, and the Chicago Blackhawks finished the game with 0. Your Colorado Avalanche 4. So
nice.
This good game there, yeah. Also, they played the Seattle Kraken to open up the season and picked up the victory out in Seattle. So, doing great. Loving what I'm seeing. Obviously, it's the beginning of the season. You got to get a little bit of that, put it together, smooth it out, make the team even better. But, yeah.
Hey, I'll take it. It's nice for them to be coming out of the gate hot. Hopefully we have a better season this year. I mean, last year was a little disappointing, but I think last year we were so plagued with injury. it would have been tough for us to repeat last year. As much as I hate to say it, I think we were just too beat up throughout the course of the season. So hopefully we stay healthy. I mean, there's always going to be injuries. It's hockey. It's a tough game. It's a hard hitting game. But hopefully the injuries are down and we can make a very good run at the cup again this year. So
yeah, because Avs beat the Kraken 4-1 and then a 4-0 victory last night. So happy to see and hear about Colorado Avalanche doing great. And it's the beginning of the season. There's another 80 games left. So we'll see how it shakes out.
It takes time. You got to work all that stuff out. And hey, we might just be off to a better start than other teams, but trust me, they'll figure it out. That's how it goes. So we're definitely on a better roll than the Minnesota Vikings.
I don't even know what that means, but sure.
The Minnesota Vikings are terrible this year. Not that I even really follow football, but I think they're only on week 5 or 6, and people are already talking about how the Vikings are tanking to pick up some star quarterback. They have 10 games left in the regular season, and people are like, well, they're just tanking to get draft picks. It's like, wait, whoa. So, not that I follow football. I was listening to sports radio this morning. So, it's what I picked up. Kidder seems to be taking a photograph of his new commander deck.
No, just doing some things.
Kidder, always doing the things. All sorts of things.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Multitasking.
I see. Let's see. What else could we chat about? Because, man, we burned through that run sheet. I mean, not that there was a ton of stuff on it, but we fit it hard. I mean, we had a good early quick start to the show, and it's been a good one. So, let's see. I haven't even been watching anything, Kidder. At least nothing that's worth watching. I mean, I watch a lot of news right now, but not TV or anything fun like that. I'm kind of starved in that realm. Sure. I'm sure you've been watching something Star Trek, maybe
Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Still going. Episode 6 already. So the season's flying through. And I mean, it's, good and bad that the episodes are half an hour or less. They should be longer episodes. Get some more enjoyment out of it. And there should be more than 10 episodes per season. Again. Still. So, make it happen.
So let me ask you this, Kidder. With it, are you having to wait a full year to get to the next season?
Minimum. And the case with each of the series, it's usually 14 to 18 months. Now, Lower Decks has been a little bit more consistent, where mid-summer to August, the seasons 2 and 3 came out, and then this year, season 4 was released in September. So, about every year. But they also, this year, with season 4 of Lower Decks, released episodes 1 and 2 simultaneously, so you could watch both of them as an hour series premiere, even though they're 2 separate episodes. So it's very sad because you run out of content in now 9 weeks this season, and there's short episodes. So I'm laughing. I love all of the Easter eggs they're putting in because they're referencing things from all of the series. From Enterprise all the way through Voyager. And it's great, but make them longer. Make more of them. And, good news with Prodigy. I think we discussed about how Star Trek Prodigy had been canceled at CBS, even though season 2 was already made. Netflix has picked it up in the US and apparently overseas as well, and they will be airing season 2.
Which is interesting because I could have sworn that CBS had the stranglehold on the Star Trek franchise.
Yes.
You couldn't get Star Trek without CBS. So
Paramount owns all of Star Trek, from the movies to the TV shows, because CBS and Paramount merged once again, sorted that whole thing out, but it's about the money. Because, they sell it to the other streaming companies. Yeah, we canceled this. Lots of people love it, but you should buy it.
Which is weird, because why wouldn't you? I mean, unless you're thinking if we put out season 2 on Netflix, everybody's going to want to we got to go back to Paramount Plus to watch season 1. I don't know if that's the strat, or is it, especially since you have it done, you could just put it out. I don't.
Right. And season 1, not available on Paramount Plus. That will also be on Netflix. So there's no benefit to push people to Paramount Plus at that point. It's just that show.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't understand what that strategy is. It's you own it, it's made. Why not run it? Unless you are getting some amazing deal from Netflix to have a Star Trek show. Is it, Netflix say, hey, we will pay you X amount for something Star Trek, and they said, well, here's this Prodigy thing. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't try to pretend to know how the whole Hollywood studio thing works. It's
money and magic.
Yeah. I mean, I got plenty of one of those.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the blue box. The good thing is I have season 1 on the shelf over there, and so I don't need a subscription to any of the services. I could just go pick it out over there and watch the whole thing. Don't have to worry about it. And we'll see what happens with the rest of stuff from Discovery. The final season still touted as being released 2024, not January or February or March. It's just in the year. And that's also supposed to be done. It's finished. It's ready for airing.
And I need to ask, is Discovery on a normal network? Is it on CBS normally, or is it just on Paramount Plus?
It's only on Paramount Plus. CBS overall, when it premiered, the first episode also aired on CBS National to try and get more people to watch it.
Interesting. I again, curious, because it seems like if it was on an actual network, it would maybe draw more people.
Yeah. Because Paramount owns CBS. They merged, but Paramount is CBS, but it's all the same company now, and Showtime is included in that. So they're using a lot of these resources between Showtime Network and their movie channels, Paramount and Paramount Network, which is its own network, which used to be Spike TV, and then CBS and all of the CBS affiliates across the country. Well, season 1 had more than one episode aired on terrestrial stations of CBS, I don't think it did that well broadcast, through that medium. Plus, they got into some of the censoring issues because they're dropping swear words in Star Trek. But yet they're still making it to be potentially aired on television, so we have to make these episodes 42 minutes.
I gotta say that there are some people who are just getting this. It seems wrong. I will give Netflix credit when they're doing a TV show. They tend to make it like, we're going to make it this episode. It might be an hour and 4 minutes. Next episode, hey, it's an hour and 6. We're taking, we're maybe like setting it's like this show. We set a goal like, hey, we're going to aim for 2 hours. You might get an hour 50. You might get 2 hours and 17 minutes. Hopefully not. Probably means that Howard is up to something, or just couldn't figure out what to cut, or
yeah, whatever.
Anyway, but we have a goal. Like, we aim for 2 hours, but we're kind of all over the map. We're not so regimented where it's not going to sit here with a stopwatch and go, gotta end this. I try and keep an eye on it, but
yeah, this segment has been 12 minutes. We need to cut it because there's a commercial break.
Yeah. I got to ask you, Kidder, this is slightly changing the subject, but because in your other profession as a radio DJ, everything is regimented out to the second.
Can be,
almost, and so what do you like better? Do you like that regimented, I have this much time to talk about things, or do you prefer this free form like we have, where we could spend 12 minutes on a topic, or we might talk about it for 2 minutes and that's it?
Mm-hmm. Well, what makes it difficult in formatting is if you time the hour exactly, you have to know how many minutes you have of commercials. And of course, talking, terrestrial radio, the ads are what make radio free. So you have to have enough ads to pay for the services to pay for the radio station, right? So that gets difficult because each day changes. You typically will have contracts that'll last, but there are some one-off where they're just this day or this hour and this whatever, right? There's all kinds of things. Try and limit it to under a certain amount because you don't want to have 15 minutes of commercials in one break and then you don't have any music. We at 96.5 The Walleye have 40 minutes of nonstop classic rock that really rocks. That starts off every hour of every day. So you can listen 24 hours a day and get classic rock that really rocks at the top of the hour, and it'll take you through most of your hour. On the back end of the hour, there's just 2 breaks. So you get 2 sets of commercial breaks, a couple songs in between, and then we are back into 40 minutes of nonstop classic rock that really rocks. But it varies on how long the breaks are, because then you can have more music after the second break, leading you up to the top of the hour. So ultimately, to try and, answer your question in hopefully not a completely ambiguous way, if you think about the 24-hour clock, you have to program the music as if there were 0 commercials. And so no matter which way you go and where you put the breaks in the hour and space them out, if you have 2 breaks per hour, you still have to put them in somewhere, but also allow the music to be able to be cut if you have too much time to fit in that 60 minutes. So, I mean, in an overall sense, this non-commercial platform is super awesome and super easy because just like me watching a show on streaming television, I much prefer you make an hour episode. I don't have to worry about the commercials. I don't have to worry about the interruptions. You still have your segments and you still break it up. But again, it is what it is. So, on top of that, make it, an hour. You're making an hour TV show for commercial time, so fill the rest of the time. Make it a good hour.
Mhm. So I'm gonna. I will say, Kidder, like part of the reason I don't like terrestrial radio is, and I'll give a great example. I was listening to sports talk radio today on my drive home, just because I didn't want to have to like pull up a podcast on my iPod. I'm like, I'll just turn on sports radio, see what's the big story of the day and such. And they went to a commercial, and I made it all the way home. I didn't hear any sports talk. It was just all commercial. And it's just like, well, actually, I got a little bit right at the end. And I'm just like, I hate like the fact that you can have like your whole commute be nothing but commercial when you want to just actually hear something. So, but I have to ask you this, Kidder, because you've been at the Walleye now for a while, and I've been around you enough in your radio time. I know that as a radio DJ, you don't have as much necessarily freedom in song choice as people might think. You have, and you will have to correct me if I have the wrong term, but you have like a programming director who basically kind of programs in what the music is for the day. And your job is to kind of put in the interstitials. You might be allowed to change a thing or two. I know in your old radio stations that you've been with, there was a lot more control, a lot more lockdown, a lot more of, hey, don't do that, corporate's going to get mad. How are you finding it at the Walleye? Are you getting some freedom, Kidder? I know you're stuck with classic rock, but I mean, do you have a little bit of a say in a poll of, I like, maybe these artists a bit more, so I'd like to play more of them? Or are you kind of like, well, here's what I got to, do?
Well, the format is the format, and we have to stick to the format as what's approved, and we have to do what we can because I'm not the boss of the station. So it's really down to you gotta try and make it worth what it is. Just make what's there even better. And that's where I try and add a little extra flair, a little woo or a yeah, and do what I can. Make it a little bit more interesting.
No, I know you do. I was just curious. That's and it's getting a little into the insider because a lot of people I don't think understand actually what happens with radio. I know I didn't until I used to sit with you at the station while you would program and do your show, and that's kind of where I learned a little bit more about what the actual like radio world was. And we actually, for those who have followed the show for a long time, I had a small stint as a independent filmmaker, just kind of making films. And one of the films I did was called Chasing the Big Dogs. We wrote it, we filmed a good chunk of it, we never finished it. But a lot of that focused in on kind of that radio world. And it was because I'd gone with Kidder to the radio station. I'd kind of seen him in that element. I learned a little bit about it. And so it was just a fascinating thing to write about. And so that's why I asked. I have now like an interest and a curiosity in this, although I've never worked in radio. I've been on the radio. Used to be Kidder's intro for a while, at least part of the intro.
Quite some time. Number one per capita in the country.
Yeah. So everything's still going well with the radio gig. I know. I haven't heard you now saying, "Hey, I'm back to number one, baby." But
well, I have not seen or heard any of the ratings, so I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it. Been working on this and life and things, and had to re-put up the blind, reinstall the blinds for the patio. So that was a process. Doing things,
Oh, I know. I still got to replace my my sump pump.
Yeah, JS and I were like sitting there waiting for the phone call.
You know what? Here's what happened. My sister's in town. Actually, she leaves tomorrow. And so Monday, like while I was at work, I got a text from my wife saying, apparently we're all doing dinner at our house Monday night. So it's like, oh,
perfect timing.
Yeah. So sorry, I didn't get a chance to text you guys. So that's on my list for this weekend. I have the manual for the pump that's in there, so I'm going to look at that because I have in my reading about replacing sump pumps. It's very important to get a pump that fits and is the correct size for your pit and your flow and all of that. So I want to look at what is in there and kind of base that to find my replacement. So I will probably be buying a sump pump this weekend, and then I also might try playing around. I might just see maybe the float is stuck in a weird place and not triggering. Try and check it out. Like before I go and drop, several $100s. Maybe there's an easy fix. So.
Well, hey, if we could get it to work, I got one sitting in the garage. Just needs a seal.
Yeah, no, I don't. This is a different pump than what your pump is. So,
oh, I know it's different, but it'll still work. Trust me. It'll suck it, shove it, and push it.
So that's on my list of things I need to get done, and just finding the time and all of that. So it's on the list, man.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
true.
Yeah, that's how it goes. It's life, man. You get older, you have more responsibilities, you got houses to take care of. They're constantly falling apart. Which makes it interesting, Kidder. I never really understood why you had to have a whole engineering department on a spaceship, that was constantly working. I get it now. You own a home, you all of a sudden understand the engineering department on a, in a Starfleet spaceship. Because you always think well, this is sci-fi. It's top of the line. It's clearly, there's no problems. And it's no, now that I own a home, it's this is constantly falling apart. I constantly am trying to patch this back up. No wonder, Scotty was always I can't do it, Captain.
Give her all she's got.
The to-do list is already this long.
Yeah, it's true.
She's held together with duct tape and hope.
With a little flag at the end.
Yes. So, but that's how it goes. Homes are that way. The human body is that way. I guess I'll give the update because I know I ended last week's show with the news about my flare up and my doctor's appointment, and I didn't dive into a whole lot of detail. But I had my appointment, Kidder, and the original plan was to have that appointment. It was Tuesday morning, and then immediately after the appointment, I was supposed to go to Medora. I never made it to Medora. Kidder, one of the things with this flare-up that has been the most probably annoying, the most painful, and that is when I do a lot of sitting, like we've done for this podcast, there has become a real tightness in my chest area, and it's actually painful, and it feels like there's pressure and all of that. It's why the longer we do this show and this episode, you might hear me struggle to breathe, cough a little bit. That's why. So I mentioned this along with all the other kind of new symptoms to my neurologist. And, when you have chest pain, they have to rule out the whole heart stuff. So needless to say, my neurologist came in after he stepped out, talked to my GP because they're in the same office, came back, and he basically said, you have an appointment with your GP at 3:00. You need to go. So it's okay. So, Kidder, I now will on the 30th. I get to do a basically what amounts to like 3 hours of an MRI. Then on the 6th, they're making me do a stress test. And then on the 29th, of November, because that was the quickest they could get in, they'll be doing a CT scan of my heart to just rule out things. So, as my neurologist put it, we're going to basically do a tune-up, and we're going to get you back to A-OK. So that's the hope. So nothing I can really report to say like, hey guys, it's this or that. It's still kind of one day at a time. Still dealing with the heat and the pain. This chest thing sitting is really hard. Getting up and moving is actually the easiest thing for me, which is good because that probably means it's not my heart. Mm-hmm. All of my blood tests came back looking pretty good. Haven't seen the cholesterol one yet, but that I'll have to look at, and there might be changes to my diet I have to make, and including maybe giving up crappy beer like this, So we'll see with all of that, but that's, but I'd like to get through this. That Monday night before that Tuesday appointment, I had the worst flare up I have ever had. I actually felt the heat up into my neck, which is new. I've never felt it that high, but like I forget what the correct term is. My wife said it a couple of times in the appointments. But like I woke up sweating and in pain, and it was, she actually had me lay on an ice pack, and it killed the pain enough for me to sleep, but it caused me to have pain elsewhere. So that's the update. I'm still alive. I'm still kicking. I'm still trying to get through and do that, but we'll just see kind of what we learn and go from there. But that's the update. That's where I'm sitting at health-wise, and hoping it's, as I said, just been all of the stress of doing 2 jobs, being away from home and all of that. And hopefully that's all this is, but we'll see. The doctor did give me an interesting note, Kidder. Not a great fact, but an interesting one. In the 2 years since this all started, they have changed some of the standards that they look at and such. And so if you are a male who 38 or younger has even the slightest episode, you are at a 51% chance of it converting over to actual MS. So I am in that 51%. So that's just the way it is. And yeah, so sorry to bring everybody down with that. I know that's not a fun subject, but I will say this. I don't like necessarily talking about it. I don't like a lot of sympathy with it. I don't really want everybody asking me about it and reminding me about it. But that said, it's a lot of stuff to deal with. And so talking about it here and talking about it with Kidder and the other gents of the Triple B is a way of me dealing with it. And so that's why I talk about it here. It's a way for me to kind of process what's going on. But otherwise, I don't really talk about it. My bosses kind of know something is up. I haven't told them. I didn't even tell my family until my mom and sister came over to watch the kids. And then they were kind of like, you have 2 appointments today? I'm like, yeah, what's going on? It's like, oh, okay. So I keep it very close kind of to the chest, and it's just because, again, I don't want that constant reminder of, well, you could be dying, or you could be, your body deteriorating. You could wake up paralyzed. I don't want to think about that, but this is a way for me to process it, is chatting with all of you and at least sharing it and not just keeping it bottled up. So it's helpful just to say that.
Yeah. Well, we're all pulling for you, and we're all here for you to support you along the way. As always, I know I don't have to say that because you already know it, but just to actually put it out in the universe, we're here to support you, be with you all along the way, and good, bad, ugly, indifferent. We're here for you for the long haul. So and of course, I'm speaking to for everybody who isn't joining us right now, but I know that they also have the same sentiment that whatever we can try and do to be here, support you, think about you, be with you, whatever, drink a beer for you. We're here to be there for you, and just know that you're not going through it alone, and it doesn't matter what the doctors have to say, what the diagnosis is in the end, because we're here with you for the rest of the time that you have, that I have, that we all have, and that is what it is. We're here for the long haul, because damn it, the Triple B and the Unholy Alliance will live on forever, by God, and we're gonna make this thing work. So,
yeah, as I've said, I have no plans of going anywhere, or I got too much living to do. I got 2 kids who I have too many adventures I have yet to go on. So I'm not giving this up without a fight. That's for damn sure. So I have been, as I said, pushing through the pain and all of that, and yeah, that's how it goes. And I know you guys are there for me, and that it means a lot. It means a lot to me. So,
well, if it's one of the last things that I have to do on this earth, I will kidnap you from wherever the hell you are, and I'm going to drive your ass down to Des Moines. We're going to have beers on the Rude Boys deck, and then we're going to hang out, have some steaks. We're going to smoke some meat. We're going to enjoy some time out. We're going to have a 20-foot bonfire again and probably light that damn tree on fire again. And then when we're done there, we're hitting the road west. We're going over to Nico. We're going to stop there. We're going to hang out, have some more beers, have some more fun. That'll be a whole new adventure out there because I have not been to his new digs out in the western section from where he is now. And hell, while we're down there, we'll stop by the Baxter Arena where the University of North Dakota, University of Omaha, Nebraska Omaha plays hockey. We'll stop there. We'll check it out anyway, get a tour, whether they're playing or not. Check it out because the rest of us had some good times there. And so you and I need some good times there. And then we're going to go downtown right there because there's this awesome place that is Southern themed, like some good old Creole food. Fantastic. We're going to stop there. We're going to have some food. We're going to get some beverages. We're going to hit back to the hotel, have some beverages there, go to sleep. Then we're going to hit the road north and we're going to stop in an Outback. Probably in Sioux City. And then there's going to be a tanker flying over. There's going to be an Outback out in the street that's out back honking at somebody else. That's honking at somebody else. And it's going to be a whole fiasco just like in 2017 all over again. And then Rude Boy's going to show up and I got something to say. It's going to be the whole thing all over again. And so you can guarantee that's going to happen.
Man, I mean, have you ever thought about becoming a travel agent, Kidder? I mean, with trips like that, I mean, I'm sure people are wanting to sign up. And, hey, if we do make this happen, you and the Triple B audience, don't worry. We'll bring you along.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you have to buy your own meals and such, but that's,
Yeah, there's no per diem where we're going. we can't afford that. We're lucky we're keeping the lights on here. Yeah. The humanity. And I didn't mean to laugh when you said 3-hour MRI, but the first thing I thought of was the 3-hour tour, and you're not really going anywhere. It's just the old machine, and I've been there a few times, so I know exactly what you're in store for.
I just hope that they, I've had 2 MRIs since this all started, and the first time they at least played music in the tube. So I got to listen to blues music, and that was good because when you're stuck in that tube and you can't really move and you can't really go anywhere, it allowed me to mentally I was sitting there going, okay, if the average song is 4 minutes, this is song 5. Okay, I've been in here 20 minutes. I could at least kind of math my way to like, okay, I need to be in here for 4 more songs. It occupied the mind. The second time, nothing. It was just silence. And
well, I mean, there's the buzzing of the machine, but
yeah, I know. When the tech pulled me out, it's like, hey, did you fall asleep in there? I'm like, no. How? So I am hoping though, like if they ask, because like the first place it was, they had, I believe they had Spotify and such. So if they ask, I know what I'm going to be asking for. And no, ladies and gentlemen, it is not the Killer Kidder Show, which you can find on Spotify. Look, hey, Howard did a cheap plug. Woo! No, I'll actually probably say, hey, could you play the Beer Blues and BS podcast? I really enjoy those guys. They're top notch. Try and get us some, more people listening.
Extra streams.
Yeah,
maybe a couple subs.
Yeah. Hey, we actually
had that sub button.
We actually had like all of a sudden on one day like 40 downloads of the podcast. So, woo! Take that for what you will.
Watch the video version, please.
Hey, the video version
thumbs up.
Doing pretty well. Hey, Kidder. I'm going to just say this. Again, at the time of recording on Saturday, so tomorrow, a brand new short coming down. So, hey, people, we're doing shorts. Clips from the show. They're good. I have a new one I have to make because I've been listening to the podcast and I was like, oh yeah, that's a good clip. I need to make that into a short. So we'll see. Those are doing pretty well. Getting some views on those. So expect more. Expect more to come. And on that promise of more entertainment, Peter, we've been talking for quite a while.
Yeah,
it's time we wrap this show up.
Yeah,
with some cheap AI generated plugs.
Why am I doing them then? I mean, this would be a perfect time to insert our website. And then perhaps where our show lives on the internet.
The audio listeners are hating this.
Maybe. But the best thing for them, they could just go down to the show notes and click the actual links. I mean, the video watchers can also do that because they're also in the show notes down below. By the way, the thumbs up, like right here, please click that. Thanks. But yeah, maybe a t-shirt. We already showed some of those designs. pick a t-shirt up, streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs. That'll help us. Also, you can subscribe monthly. That would be helpful. Buy us a case of beer every month. What are they? $25 now? About a case of beer?
I don't know. I buy mine all in singles now.
I know, you're like in the store doing this as you're walking down the beer aisle. Like, I got a single over here, get a single over there.
Yeah,
Group.
I can't remember the last time I bought a case of beer.
Probably about the last time you bought one. Well, good. Otherwise, beerbluesbs.com. It's our website. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, TuneIn, Stitcher, IMDb, Player FM, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, and probably a few more that I forgot. Also, like us on Facebook. Please share, like, subscribe, share. We're also on Instagram. Click the heart because we know that you love it, and we would love for you to love it as well. Help us get the videos out. Just share stuff, You see something from the Triple B, it's going to be funny, so click the share button. Send it out to your friends too, please. It'll help us get 2 people. Other than that, that's kind of everything. Buy the merch, please. Help us out. Pint glasses, t-shirts, sweatshirts, new beanie hats, winter hats. Winter is coming. So we have hats for you. Streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs. Other than that, final thoughts, Howard.
Okay. Sorry. You were reading cheap plugs, and then I had an idea, and I couldn't resist. And so, Kidder, I may have gone back to the AI generator and typed in, well, you can see here a thumbnail for a podcast titled "Beer, Blues, and BS." I tried the quotation marks. Debate Star Wars versus Star Trek.
I mean, that's quite the photo. There's a lot going on there.
Like this half a stormtrooper
coming out of a ship.
Yeah. These, I forget the Star Trek term, but like engines on the beer.
Yeah, those kind of look like guns coming out of the beer, because under the Star Trek text, looks like there's the Star Drive section with kind of a nacelle, but also maybe not. I don't know. And then you got the saucer there, and there's a lot going on there.
Yeah. That was the first one. Here's our second one.
So is that supposed to be Lando?
I have no idea. I don't even know who this blue Yoda guy is.
Well, clearly it's our new mascot for your cave.
Yeah, but butter versus BS. It's interesting. I also liked this one. So very Star Wars themed. But I kind of like this microphone beer stand that they got going. So that was interesting. And the last one, Beer, Blues, and Shrek.
But what's wrong with the guy? Because he's like a microphone, but yet he's a dude, and he does not look comfortable.
Yeah, not at all. So
that's creepy, man.
It's something. You gotta love AI generated art. That's for sure. So that's my final thought. One last AI generated bit of shenanigans.
Yeah, it was kind of a bit much. But yeah, well, I think for that, it's time to get on out of here. I think that we've all had about enough. So for Howard Blues, I'm the man, the myth, legend, Mark Kidder. Thanks for joining us for this and every episode of Beer, Blues, and BS. Please subscribe, like, share, appreciate it. Make sure you catch us for the next episode of Beer, Blues, and BS. Probably about a week from now, or unless you're behind, and then just go to the next one. But wherever and whenever you may be at the time you're watching or listening to this, thank you. We do appreciate it. Remember to keep your glass at least half full. There's free beer tomorrow, and we will see what happens to pop up on that AI-driven Tuscan highway. Have a good one. See you in the next episode of Beer, Blues, and BS.
You have been listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you enjoyed the show, help others find out about it by rating the show or leaving a review at your podcast listening service of choice. Thanks for listening, and may your glass never be empty. UA Productions presents A Glimpse Behind the Curtain.
So here's one for you. Because you like music humor. You being the musician that you are. And this is an old meme. But how do you measure how heavy a red hot chili pepper is?
How do you measure how heavy a red hot chili pepper is?
Well, you give it away, give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away.
Yeah, I got the joke. I was trying to I think of a equally bad red hot chili peppers pun to respond with, but
Bet if you took some time under the bridge, you could think about it.
yeah, again, this is what happens whenever we've done music-related puns. We select artists that Howard is not really a fan of, nor knows their like discography. So it's like,
okay. Well,
I mean, I'm trying to work around Californication, and that's about all I got.
oh, well, what you should do is pull a Stevie Wonder as well and go to higher ground. Perhaps have a drink of mother's milk. I'm not even prepared for this one.
I mean, you don't have to be. I mean, Mr. Radio DJ, you could just whip these things out, you know, like
true.
your Devo or something.
Maybe, but we could hop on my aeroplane and take it for a spin.
See, where's the button to end this call?
He gone. Howard's out. He's going to visit Danny, California, and perhaps yell about the snow. Hey-o.
I should have thought of Heyo.
But I mean, that's what happens when you're in the middle of a stadium Arcadium.
Now I'm disappointed in myself. I knew Heyo. How did I not think of that one?
Snow, hey-o. Yeah. Well, I get it. But
I'm also just.
What?
I was gonna say I'm also disappointed that these puns are still going on.
It's because you gave it away now.